It's the 2010 EWS Conference Championships. In the A classification, winners bracket action between Gene Shoppe and EWS. And Kyle Conway starting things off, trekking all the way around. He is in at third, starting off the contest with a triple. We're on the upper part of the bracket. Gene Shoppe, EWS, AJS, and Woodlaw all in the winner's bracket. Right now, AJS, Easton, Supreme, Mike Folks, Mojo. They're playing over on field number 2 against Woodlaw. And Gene Shoppe with Eric Thompson getting a hit, scoring the first run of this ball game. And another base hit for Timmy Coco, the added hitter. Eric Thompson trucking his way around to third. Gene Shoppe took down GTL. We had it on air last night, 18-11. EWS shirts and logos defeated Northwest Combat 21-17. Brad Reichert at the plate. He's the cleanup hitter and left fielder for Gene Shoppe. Another great day of action following this contest. Resmondo and Dan Smith battling in the second game of their 5-game set. This one sent into left. Pat Hastings has it near the foul line. Eric Thompson will tag and score the second run of the ball game. So here's Shane Hatfield, the catcher for Gene Shoppe. After a record sacrifice fly. Hit sharply towards the middle infielder, and that is a inning-ending double play. 6-4-3. First inning over for Gene Shoppe. We go to the bottom of the first. Gene Shoppe striking first. They're up 2-0. EWS coming to the plate for the first time in this 2010 Conference EWS Championship. Bottom of the first, Gene Shop leading 2-0. EWS shirts and logos coming to the plate. Travis Clark will lead things off. Second baseman for the squad. In the conference championship, in the winner's bracket, looking to face either Woodlaw or AJS. Game will happen at 2:30 in the stadium. This one lined into right field, an extra base hit for Travis Clark. And Clark is on his way to third, and he starts off the bottom of the first with a triple. So with Clark on third, Chris Duran, first baseman for the squad, coming to the plate. Again down the right field line. And foul ball. Popped up into short center, long run, and this one's going to fall in between three players. And Chris Duran thankful that he got back to second. Travis Clark scoring the first run of the ball game for EWS. Neither Lane, Cowart, nor Earl Bryant had a chance to make a play. Dustin Palm, the added hitter. And he cranks this one into left field. Brad Reckert tracking it down. It's the first out of this inning. Chris Duran moving to third. And we got a runner on third, one away. And Mark Holstein, the catcher. Into center. This one in front of Kyle Cowart. Scoring Duran. Not for a second, he might have a chance to make a play on that ball, but he lets it fall for a base hit for Holstein. And there's a runner on with one out. And Vitchak, the pitcher, at the plate in a 2-2 ball game. And that one lined right off the glove of the pitcher. And still nearly a double play. Travis Lane kicked it over to Sean McDonald. And they're able to retire Holstein, as Vitek is aboard on a fielder's choice. So a two-way, it's Brandon Reese, right fielder. It's this one down the left field line. Brad Reckert's going to have to run to track it down. Reese comes into second with a double, and the relay throw to home is late as Vitek scores from first. on an RBI double by Brandon Reese. And so that brings up the middle infielder, Mike Umshed. 2 outs in this inning. Gene Shoppe trying to keep it just a 1-run ball game. That one is fouled down the line. Got Paul O'Leary tonight and the rest of the day with us on our home plate camera. Hopefully you can sense the improvement. So bring in the big guns for these championship games for you. Shane Spicer, the pitcher for this Gene Shoppe team. And he issues a walk. So there's 2 on and 2 out. And here's Pat Hastings, the left fielder. Hastings taking a called strike. And he rips this one, but right at the shortstop, Earl Bryant over to make the play, and that'll retire the side. 3-run score by EWS. They lead by 1 after 1. It's 3-2. Winners bracket action in the USSSA Conference Championship here at Osceola County Stadium. Gene Shoppe, EWS, and Dan Bean leading things off. We're in the top of the second. Coming up next, Rismondo and Dan Smith. Leadoff base hit for the right fielder for Gene Shoppe. It'll be Bean, McDonald, and Powers. And to right field, McDonald is retired by Brandon Reese. And here's Lee Powers. Lee Powers hitting this one a long way towards the gap. It's off the left center field wall. Dan Bean is going to round third. He'll score, tying this game at 3-3 on a triple by Lee Powers. This one hit into right field. Reese. Oh, great extension on the run, as he has his second put out here in the second inning. Lee Powers does, however, score from third, and that makes it 4-3. So the 10th hitter in the lineup, Travis Lane, comes to the plate with 2 away and 2 in for Gene Chop. On the ground, Keith Anderson. He's got a good gun over to first. Inning over. Gene Chop scored 2 in the first. They tack on 2 more here in the second, and they lead by 1, 4-3 early in this winners bracket competition between Gene Chop and EWS. Timmy Nielsen, Keith Anderson, Brad Lunda is due up here in the bottom of the second. 1-run game, 4-3. Winner of this game takes on AJS or Woodlaw. And a game later today. Coming up tonight, we have the banquet. That'll be an exciting time for you to log on to USSSA.com, grab some dinner, and find out who the award winners were for the year. We'll have that streamed for you live right here on the same platform, so be sure to tell your friends. I believe the actual banquet dinner starts around 7. And the awards coming about an hour after that, but we'll have the whole dinner live. Maybe if you got a favorite table that you want us to zoom in on, go on to softballcenter.com, go onto the forum, and tell us what table you want us to spotlight on dinner. You might be able to watch Brett Helmer eat, see what he picked tonight. Nielsen with a leadoff single brings up Keith Anderson. Ripped, but Sean McDonald has it. Out number one. And here's Brad Lunda. And Lunda drawing a walk. And moves Nielsen over to second. And there's runners on first and second with only one out as we go back to the top of the lineup. Travis Clark started off the bottom of the first with a triple, batting for the second time in this ball game. And he hits it to Earl Bryant. And there's two away. Chris Duran, who doubled and scored. Retired. And that is the inning. EWS does not score in the bottom of the second, so they trail for the first time in this ball game after a full inning. 2 innings complete. It's 4-3. Gene Shoppe on top. Spicer fouling off the first pitch as we bring you the top of the third. First game of the day, and we're glad you're with us. Spicer with a base hit. He's the final Gene Shoppe athlete to hit for the first time, and now we go back to the top of the lineup, and Kyle Cowart, who tripled back in the first inning and came around to score. Coward hits this one a long way in right field, and Brandon Reese up against the wall making the play for out number 1. And so that brings up Eric Thompson, who singled and scored in the first. Big moment here for Gene Champ after blanking EWS in the bottom of the second. A chance to extend their lead. They, of course, are the visitors. So critical to try to build a lead if they're going to win this ball game. Good backhanded stop by Travis Clark. But the throw to first was in the dirt and not in time. And Thompson aboard on first. Cheese on his way, he's at third, and there's runners on the corners with one out. And Tim Coco, he can hit it a long way. We saw him single here in the first inning, but he had a long home run last night. Going for it again, and that's a line drive home run. Hot shot for Brad Record into center field. There's a base hit. Fourth hit of the inning. And Hatfield watches as Hastings catches it up against the left field wall. Tough play there in left field. And that's out number 2. And 2 outs, a runner in scoring position, Dan Bean. It was knocked down by Travis Clark, but Dan Bean able to beat it out at first. That puts runners on the corners. Bean, his second hit of this ball game. And Sean McDonald, the middle infielder, who flew out to right in his first at bat, coming to the plate. Base hit into right field. Brad Record will score. Dan Bean is over to third. And Sean McDonald has his first base hit of the ball game. So here's Lee Powers, who tripled back in the second. 4 runs in here in the third thus far for Gene Chop, and they're going to have a conference.
I guess it won't be leftovers today since all the food was taken, right? Well, I wouldn't do that more often, to be honest with you. Most of the time I just wish we could get like a ham and turkey sandwich or something. Close to one good. I mean, I'm not trying to be complain about these, but
First pitch swinging here in the bottom of the third. And a good result for Dustin Palm, the additional hitter. He has a line drive base hit into left out towards Brad Record. And Mark Holstein. He singled back in the first. What a glove there for Travis Lane, and he throws to second, and an even better dig there for Earl Bryant. Out number one. And Andy Vitkamp, the pitcher, reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the first. Coming to the plate. He lines this one into center field. Kyle Cowart getting it back in quickly, holding the runners at first and second with one away. And here's the right fielder, Brandon Reese. Reese doubled back in the first. Here he's going for it all. Brad Record looks up. No chance. 3-run home run. So Reese makes it 11-6. As Mike Umshed, who walked in the first, comes to the plate with one away. And there's a base hit back up the middle for Umshed. So Umshed with his first hit of this ball game. Hastings, who lined out to end the first, checking into the box. That one back up the middle. And Hastings wheeling his way around to second with a double. Nielsen singled to start the second. And now Gene Chop, who has an 11-6 lead, but has already given up 3 runs here in the bottom of the third, all huddling. So 2 in scoring position and Nielsen at the plate. And Nielsen got under that one. Kyle Coward comes in. Tagging from third is Umshed. He's going to turn back to the bag. Apparently not deep enough. And so there's 2 away. And it's a third baseman, Keith Anderson, who lined out to the middle infielder just an inning ago. Tries to continue this third inning for EWS. And he does. Right between short and third, scoring 2 runs. 2 RBI single for Keith Anderson. Umshed and Hastings both coming to score. And it makes it 11-8. Down the right field line, fair ball, Dan Bean tracking it down. Anderson holding at third. Brett Lunda at first with a single. We're back to the top of the lineup and Travis Clark. Clark is the 10th batter to hit here in the bottom of the third for EWS. Trailing 11-8. And Clark drawing a walk to load the bases for Chris Drawn, who could give EWS the lead for the second time in this ball game with 1 swing of the bat. Zed will keep it on the ground, getting a base hit, scoring 2. Anderson scores, Lunda comes in to score, and Travis Clark holding at third. And it's a 1-run ball game, 11-10. As Dustin Palm hits for the second time in this inning. And he has his second hit of this inning. Picking up an RBI, his first RBI of the contest. So Clark scores, Duran to third. It's 11-11 as EWS has scored their 8th run of this inning. And Mark Holstein, the catcher. He's one of the 2 outs recorded in this inning. Hammer that one right off of the play area that the Astros have created. Down the right field line. Trying to straighten it out here. Dan Bean, Kyle Coward, both on the move. And it's off the wall. Holstein comes to third. He's picked up 2 RBIs. And EWS has their second lead of this ball game, putting up 10 runs so far here in the third inning. called. Strike 3. Excuse me, strike 2 theoretically here, but that'll retire the side, but a productive inning nonetheless. EWS scoring 10 runs in the bottom of the third. They're up by 2, 13-11, with 3 innings complete. So Gene Shoppe trailing once again. They trailed in the bottom of the first 3-2. They trail here as we begin the fourth, 13-11. And Cheese, the pitcher, starting things off with a base hit. Last hitter in the lineup to hit. In order, and we go back to the top of the lineup, and Kyle Cowart. Howard hitting into the left. Hastings coming in to make the play for out number 1. So Cowart retired for the second consecutive time after getting a triple in his first plate appearance. And that brings up Eric Thompson. He's 2 for 2. Fair ball for Eric Thompson down the right field line. Shane's going to come around to score on a triple by Eric Thompson. So here's Tim Coco, 2 for 2. A single and a home run. That was clubbed foul. Taken by Lunda in center. Eric Thompson comes in, and Tim Coco retired for the first time. Grabbed by Nielsen on the hop, and it's under the glove of Duran. That should have been out number 3. But Brad Record aboard for just the second time in this ball game. And here's Shane Hatfield. He grounded to a 6-4-3 double play in the first, flew out in the third. Foul ball. Hatfield looking for his first hit of this ball game. He got under that one. Hastings coming in. Nielsen and Anderson going out. And somehow it finds a spot on the field to fall. And Hastings somehow is aboard. So really back-to-back mistakes for EWS, keeping this inning alive. And Dan Bean at the plate, he singled twice, he scored twice. This one moving its way towards Hastings and left. He has it. And the side retired. 2 runs come in for Gene Shop there in the 4th. We're tied at 13 as we played 3.5 innings.
Taija Sports is the official apparel partner of the USSSA. With Taija Sports, you can have your team looking like the pros with personalized youth packages starting at around only $100 per player. This package includes 1 personalized jersey, a pair of pants, backpack, and a Taija Sports Flex Fit cap. Go to TaijaSports.com where you'll find additional items to suit your sporting needs, such as high-quality roller bags, batting gloves, and footwear. Taija Sports, where it begins.
First pitch swinging as we begin the bottom of the fourth. And tracked down in the outfield. And this Brandon Reese flies out to begin the fourth inning. Reese Umshed and Pat Hastings due up. Umshed's 1 for 2. (13-13) our score. Again, coming up next, Rismondo, Specialty Tank, and Dan Smith in the second of a 5-game set between those two. Rismondo taking game number 1. And on the ground, Earl Bryant, 2 away. And we'd like to welcome in Rick Robertson. Rick, great to have you with us finally.
Well, it's nice to be here, Bernie. been a hectic weekend.
A 1-2-3 inning here in the fifth, but why don't you get fans up to date on what's happening so far with this conference tournament?
Yeah, conference USSSA 2010 major bracket. I'm sure Bernie let you know Smith and Rismondo will play the best out of 5. Rismondo picking up a victory last night. 3 runs, 27-24, I believe was the final. They play game number 2 at 11 o'clock. If Rismondo wins, they'll come back and play tomorrow. If Smith wins, then they'll play today at 1 o'clock right here at the stadium. If Rismondo wins, like I said, they'll play tomorrow. We'll pull the number 1 seed from the backfields and play them at the stadium so we can stream them. It's kind of going to depend on who wins back there for the 1 o'clock games. Our B bracket has 12 teams, 3-game guarantee. The B over at Fortune Road has 6 teams, and they're playing a 3-game guarantee as well. And we'll try to keep you updated as far as scores over there. Hectic weekend. We're testing bats, Bernie, and we've got everybody's bats.
Testing them basically everywhere, right?
Yeah, we started in the A World. We tested bats before every game. Here, what we did is we test their bats before the first game, and then we just kept them. We got them locked up in the room back on the back fields here at the Osceola Heritage Park.
Saves a lot of retesting, right?
Yeah, a lot of time because Steve Saluk will be testing for 24 hours probably.
It's good to keep him busy.
Oh, yeah.
13-13.
Sean McDonald, ground ball to second base to lead off here in the, top half of the fifth, huh, Bernie? Game moving right along.
We're moving right along. It's weird because we saw a lot of pitching early on, and as the games progressed, we saw the offense come alive in the third, and now we're kind of back to pitching, Rick.
Well, pitching is a big part of slow pitch. You got to throw strikes. I've always said when you walk somebody, 9 out of 10 times that run's going to score. Big swing.
Well, Lee Powers is tripled, and he's hit a home run, so he's excited to try to help out his squad if he can and give Gene Shoppe the lead once again. Keith Anderson over to first. Drawn dug that one out of the dirt, but it was a little late to throw as Powers trucked on down. able to get a single. And there's one on. And one out here in the 5th. And Earl Bryant, who's 1 for 2 at the plate. Again, the winner of this game takes on AJS or Woodlaw. That game going on right now as well. Earl Bryant flew out to Lunda in center field. And there's 2 outs here in the 5th.
Well, Bernie had to take that phone call. We got scores in from the B. Hubs Pub 30, Desert Falls 29. Blitzwatt Nobby 18-3 over Art Explosion. So they've really had some close games over there throughout that bracket. So they're scheduled at 9, 11, and 1 over there. Their championship will be at Fortune Road tomorrow.
Lane flying out to Pat Hastings, and that's the inning. 13-13. They haven't scored since you showed up, Rick.
That's not a bad thing. Well, it might be for who was that Shop that was hitting that inning.
Well, I know one of the things that they're getting set to try to unveil for USSSA, which I think the fans will really enjoy, is ability for fans to almost get an update idea of what's happening with a lot of these games live through Point Streak.
Oh, really? Awesome.
So I think that'll be something that a lot of fans out there will be intrigued to see what's happening. It's a lot of fields, and you need a lot of bodies to try to implement that.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, like I told you earlier before we started broadcasting today, at the Men's A World, our champions this year was GTL, back-to-back champions. Before that, 2 years in a row, Gene Shop was back-to-back champions. But they missed us streaming. I know you were off with the Youth Olympics in Singapore. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Wow, I bet that was an experience. And had you been there before?
I hadn't, and
wow. But everybody remarked.
But you're glad to be home, that's for sure.
I can imagine. But everybody remarked, "Hey, where's Bernie? Hey, Rick, when you streaming?" I said, "Well, we should be back for conference. Of course, we'll be back for Men's Major World Series out at Disney, or ESPN now it's called, ESPN Wide World of Sports."
And I'd assume, depending on the scheduling, that we would be planning to do A as well in the future.
Yeah, they would come back, and I would think, as you said, long as the voice of USSSA, Bernie Gunther's in town, then you're the lead guy.
We try to do as best a job as we can, that's for sure.
Well, I think, too, word of mouth, when people are watching us and streaming us, and, of course, off of DW site and then the Old Scout, both those sites, people learn that we're streaming, and they'll join us live. And I know the teams and players, they appreciate it. Tonight, of course, our awards banquet, naming our all.
We're going to have it live for you.
Oh, streaming it live again.
We're looking for more than 12.
More than 12 this year. That'd be good.
Timmy Nielsen flying out.
One out here in the bottom of the 5th. EWS shirts and logo. They'll be at the B World. They had a great year. They were our top finishing B team this year. GTL top finishing A team. They'll receive their awards tonight, their team awards at the banquet. Great bunch of guys here on EWS shirts and logos. A lot of fun to be around. They presented me with one of their team jerseys.
Did they? It's a sharp-looking jersey.
It's nice, 9/11. Of course, there's some things I can't say on the air that's printed on the collar about Al-Qaeda. But, yeah, great bunch of people. Fun to be around. Gene Shop, as I said, they were 2007 and 8 A-World champions. Had a tough year. Greg Blackburn, their sponsors, going into USSSA National Hall of Fame in November. His wife had some health issues, and our thoughts and prayers stay with them, and hopefully that she'll recover, do very well. But he's a great sponsor. We miss him being out here.
And there's a walk. So there's 2 on, and we go back to the top of the lineup, and Travis Clark.
Cheese not happy with the call by Jason Oberlag. The pride of Arkansas behind the plate. Tony Walzak out on the bases. Chuck Doc Beckwell will rotate in. He's off right now. Had an umpire get injured on the backfield, so Doc's going to get some medical supplies to help fix him up.
Nothing serious, I hope.
I twisted the knee, having a little trouble on that, so we may end up having to take him in later on today. We're going to see how it works. That's another reason we'll try to get over here for the first pitch, but I didn't get here until 4th inning. So
You're a busy man, Rick. We know that.
yeah, we try to keep things flowing as smooth as possible.
Clark tripled in the first, walked in the third. He's going to have a single. As it's now 14-13. Keith Anderson coming in to score.
Nice piece of hitting on the backside. Drives it into right field. 1 run in. Leaves runners on the corners.
Big game for your Tigers tonight against
Well,
North Carolina.
North Carolina suspended a bunch of people, but LSU still has to perform.
Long run for Kyle Cowart. And he's retired Chris Duran.
We got a double tag going from first to third.
It's a successful attempt for Travis Clark, but it also scores a run.
Travis Clark with a hustle, tags up, moves from first all the way around to third. Of course, the flea, Kyle Cowart catches it out there just in front of the 410, deepest part of the park. They call him the flea because he can move. He can cover a lot of ground in the outfield, and he eats up it running around these base paths when he's on offense too, Bernie. He's a heck of a player.
Dustin Palm, 2 for 3.
So I just saw my first 2 runs score in, 2 innings?
Yeah. We need him to score eventually. There's a walk to Dustin Palm.
We'll be a little behind once we get through here, but hopefully not too bad. Because we played at 11, and then our next game will be scheduled at 1.
Mark Holstein into right field. Bean has it. Inning over. 5 innings complete. It's 15-13 in the 2010 Conference EWS Championship.
EWSA is the largest multi-sport athletic association in the world, headquartered in beautiful Osceola County. EWSA is the largest multi-sport athletic association in the world, headquartered in beautiful Osceola County, Florida. EWSA has now grown to 3.7 million members, competing in 14 sanctioned sports. From fast-pitch softball, basketball, taekwondo, and golf to being one of the largest youth baseball programs in the country, EWSA has a sport for you. Log on to USSA.com to find out how you can take part.
Play the best and play USSA.
had to. Oh, I had to be plugged in. That's fine. Just.
Brooks get everything situated here in the 6th. (15-13) our score. Kyle Coward at the plate. After Cheese getting aboard.
Shane Spicer at first. Here's the flea.
Trying to go down the right field line. Reese.
Oh,
what a grab
nice
there.
Catch. Right up against the wall. Beautiful catch out there.
Brandon Reese making the play.
Yeah, Brandon with a nice grab, jumped right up on the Enterprise sign, took it right off the rental car.
So that brings up Eric Thompson. He's 3 for 3.
Eric, one of the, he was all conference last year. Not known at all for his power, but he base hits. That's 4 for 4, Bernie.
It works.
Here comes Cheese. Last year's 2009 Men's Major Home Run Derby champion, Tim Coco. Yesterday, their first game, hit a 3-run walk-off home run in the bottom of the 7th to bring Gene Shoppe a victory 33-31.
We're looking forward to the home run derby again.
Oh, he'll be in it.
Coco crank it into right field.
He'll be playing in it.
Eric Thompson over to third. And it's a 1-run ball game with runners on the corners here in the 6th.
Top half the 6th inning. Conference USSSA 2010 championship.
Andy Purcell working his way into the stadium. As Brad Reckert is at the plate with 2 on and 1 out.
This is a winner's bracket game too.
Just past the diving Timmy Nielsen. And Eric Thompson coming to score. Tying the game 15-15.
Very evenly matched ball clubs here with EWS shirts and logo and Gene Shoppe. Shane Hatfield, the catcher. He's going to step in. Runners at first and second. Dan Beans on deck. Milky. Sean McDonald in the hole.
Hatfield grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Flew out to left and he singled his last time up. On the ground, hot shot. Anderson over to second for 1, and they turn the second double play on Hatfield of the game.
5-4-3 around the horn, retires to side. 2 runs, a couple of hits, no errors, 1 runner left on. And Bernie said it, 15-15 going into the bottom of the 6th.
All right, a big chance here for EWS, bottom of the 6th. Gene Shoppe will be down to their final 3 outs. They have a chance to try to take a commanding lead where they may not have to bat in the bottom of the 7th.
If they can put up a crooked number, it for sure puts some pressure on the Gene Shoppe. See AJS coming in from the backfields. I need to get a score from back there, hopefully.
And David Kent is reached base for the 2nd time today. This is Brandon Reese. He doubled and had a home run before flying out. Popped up. Cal Coward, the flea.
The flea camps under it. Flips it back into the infield. 1 away, 1 runner on at first. See if EWS can push across a couple of runs.
So 1 on, 1 out. And Mike Umshad at the plate.
Didn't get much sleep last night, Bernie. I went to bed a little after 3, up at 6.
It's a late night here, working hard.
Late night, then we had to have umpire meeting. That ball's deep. Oh, another
And
nice
Brad
grab.
Record up against the wall, making the play.
Brad goes all the way back, bangs against the fence at 330, makes the catch. Tags up at first, moves over there to second. So they have a, Schertz logo has a runner in scoring position, but that's the 2nd out, Bernie. Bottom of the 6th. We don't need extra innings. Somebody needs to win this thing.
Yeah, it looked like EWS was in a brilliant spot here. Tied in the bottom of the 6th. Great chance to make their move, but they haven't thus far.
Oh, that's trouble.
Long run, Brad Record
No,
made
off
a
his glove.
diving attempt. EWS is going to take a 16-15 lead.
You could tell once that left the bat, it wasn't going to travel far. Record running all the way, unable to get it right off his glove. Backing him up to flee Kyle Coward. He couldn't get there. They just hit that ball where there wasn't anybody able to get it. That's part of the game too, not just a power game. A little luck, a little finesse. And EWS now leads by 1, 16-15, bottom of the 6th. Winner's bracket.
And here's Timmy Nielsen. He's 1 for 3. He's got it back up the middle off the glove of Earl Bryant. And in some ways, a running mistake for Pat Hastings with 2 outs. He will score from second, but he waited to see what happened.
Had
With
no
that play,
need
he could
to
have been
wait.
well on his way.
And there was no need to wait, Bernie, exactly what you said with 2 outs. He ended up scoring. Sean McDonald hustling behind Earl Bryant. Picks it up. Looks like he might have pulled something. And now Cheese is talking to Jason Oberlag behind the plate here. I'm not sure what he's asking. He's pointing at first, pointing at third. So I'm not really sure what that was about, Bernie. Also, one of the things I didn't know if you told the people online and that are listening to us, what we do is the highest seed is home team in the A brackets and B brackets. And then in the majors, They're playing the best out of 5. We do the same thing as you see in baseball and basketball playoffs. A 2-2-1. Number 1 seed, home team for the first 2. The second seed, home for the next 2. And then the 5th game, the number 1 seed, that's their reward for being the number 1 seed. They get that advantage, which I think is the fairest and only way to do it.
Well, I think it works especially even at this level that a lot of these teams work all year long to get a tie or seed, and then they come here and they get a coin flip.
Yeah, so here we reward them for that. And actually what Don has done for the conference this year, you know, some people think the conference tournament maybe not be as a key a tournament as the World Tournament or the World Series for the majors. Teams that play here in this conference event can help their seeding. They're going to still get points here like any regular tournament. So this becomes very important because you don't, let's say you're sitting as the number 16 seed, you have to play Rismondo. I mean, you'd like to improve. And then you have some teams that are only separated by, say, 10 or 15 points. They can improve their seed 4 or 5 places.
Anderson under it, inning over. Gene Chop needs at least 2 to make EWS bat in the bottom of the 7th. 17-15 our score. It's the 7th inning, and Gene Chop needs at least 2 runs here. Dan Bean, Sean McDonald, Lee Powers. Bouncing ball. And EWS is 1 out closer to moving on in the winner's bracket.
And Bean beat that in the ground, high chopper right over the mound. Flips it to first, 1 away, 2 outs left. A couple of surprises there so far in this tournament. GTL 0-2. Sinister was 0-2, and I don't have a score from the back from Mr. Ken Franzine. I need to get that while I'm thinking about it.
Sean McDonald under this one. Hastings has it. There's 2 away.
See if I can get some scores for you, Mr. Bernie.
We appreciate any scores you have, Rick. Here's Lee Powers. EWS 1 out away from advancing and staying in the winner's bracket.
into left, and it's caught by Pat Hastings, and that does it. Final score here in this one, EWS 15, EWS 17, Gene Shop 15. Coming up next, Resmondo Specialty Tank is going to take on Dan Smith in Game 2 of their 5-game set. I'll have it for you next right here on USSSA.com.